Hi, beautiful people.
Hi, my beautiful friends and families.
The twins are here again, and we're here with another topic. A very short one. It's not going to be a long one. It's a short one.
Yes.
We're waiting on the AA breakdown recovery. Let me just quickly show you the car breakdown, guys. The car breakdown. All right. As we sit, we were reflecting. It's a reflection with a question.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, the vehicle is passing, so it may sounds a bit noisy. So the reflection is on, what is your opinion? And we want you guys to come back to us and tell us how you feel. This is no judgment on anyone. This is not criticizing anyone. But just looking at it from my spiritual aspect and from my own human aspect.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So Shireen.
Yeah. So the question that we would like to ask is what do you think about individual who don't have any, like, say, deformities or any health issues with their body, but they seek out to change, their body parts, whether it's their bum, whether it's their nose, whether it's their lips,
their breasts,
their
facial
waist,
structure,
all of those things. For individual, do you think it is right? Because we have been watching videos of individual who go out to do those things, and some of them lose their life. Some of them somehow the surgeon didn't do a good job, so they would have to do it over and over again.
And some of them start to kind of deteriorate.
Yes.
Like the body start to smell and start rotting.
So a lot of things happen in a negative way for a lot of individuals, especially for those who use say a cheap surgeon to carry out the task. Sometimes by doing that, it costs them even more because they're trying to save money, and so they might go to someone who is not so much experienced about the job, but they can do something, and so they make their body even more, say, wrong. So by going to those cheap surgeons, it create more danger for them, and also give them deformities. So they didn't have any, say, deformities in the first place. Like, when you look at, say, sometimes even the bum, the shape of the bum, before they do the surgery, it was
perfect. It was beautiful.
It was good. It was beautiful.
Some of them, their lips before they did the surgery, it was absolutely beautiful. Their nose,
their face structure, everything was beautiful. Even though I do understand that majority of the time is it's a mental illness. So
it's not a physical one, but it's a
mental one. And so because of how they are seeing themselves through their mind, they feel that they're not enough and good enough, and so they feel that they need to change their feature,
in order to feel better,
and maybe feel that people will accept them more if they look a certain way. So what do you think about that? Do you think
it is right,
or do you think it is wrong? From a spiritual aspect, God said, He created us beautiful. You are fearfully and you are wonderfully made. So in our opinion, just by thinking in a spiritual aspect, what would God think of me? In the aspect that I go and change, say, work on my bum to get it bigger, work on, other parts of my body to change it. Would God be pleased with me? That's a question I'm asking myself. Would God be pleased with me if I go and do something like that? As we said, we are not judging anyone, but sometimes we do have concern. Because I remember another video I've watched in which this girl went to one of the European country, and she went there to, do her bum because she feel that she was so insecure. Maybe she didn't have a big bum, but she feels so insecure, so she wants a bigger one. And just by going there, she went with her sister, And then, you know, the sister out there waiting and waiting and waiting, and only to come back getting the news that
She
the sister died.
on the
leaving
operation table.
died leaving her. I don't know if it was two sons, but it was an incident from a British individual, you know, not feeling, you know, secure in herself, not feeling confident in herself, feel that she wasn't enough or good enough, so she wants to do that. Her bum being bigger would make her feel more secure, more, you know, confident, you know, and more like, you know, saying that she's of value. So, you know, I have my own concern about that, and I do watch some video, you know, of surgeon, you know, in which I think there's these two American surgeons, and they're quite good. And a lot of times you have individual who comes to them because, you know what, they went to other surgeons and they didn't do a good job, and so, you know, they come to those two surgeons for the surgeon to help correct what have gone wrong. And sometimes what I do respect about those surgeons, because you have people who would want to, you know, say make their bust more bigger, and if they feel that that is not right and it's going to be dangerous, they straight up tell them no, you know, it's wrong, because they're thinking that, you know what, we want to downsize you because you have gone over the limit. Because sometimes people go over the limit because it's this mental defect. It's not saying that it's just normal. It's something that is going on mentally. Yeah.
So on my observation, being that I am a Christian, for me to do something like that, I would be disrespecting God. I would say to God that you don't know what you're doing. You are not a great creator. And so for people, you know, who do those things, you know, to the creator, for me, I'm not saying for anybody else, this is how I am looking at it. They're saying to God, you don't know what you're doing. You can't create perfectly. So we are going to do it better.
A good job.
We are going to do it better than you. You know, and for me, it's like the saying go, you're flying in the face of God. So I believe that, you know, people are struggling. I do understand. Mentally and emotionally. People are struggling with insecurity, low self-esteem. People are struggling with comparison, you know, comparing themselves with others and feel that what they see, what they have, it's not good enough. And this is the society that we're living in. And sometimes it's peer pressure. Sometimes it's society pressure. Sometimes it's partner pressure. Because sometimes the relationship that some people are in are pressuring them to be, you know, more somebody than who they are. Sometimes they're pressuring them to put on the long hair. You know, in some relationship, you know, some men don't accept naturality.
They will want their black wife.
They will want their black wife to put on long hair, horse ear, or whatever they call they hear them. They want them to put on these wigs to please them, and so it brings about this insecurity,
low self-esteem,
not good enough feeling. You know, and so pressures can come from many, you know, areas. And so these are the factors that surround the minds and the environments of people that makes them sometimes go into these drastic measure to make these changes. Because one, they are insecure already. They don't know their truth. They don't have their own identity. And they're a pleaser. You know, some people have the pleasing personality, quite easily to be pleased. And so because of that, they're easily to do what others say them to do. There's no boundaries, there's no security in themselves. And so all of these factors create the outcome that we're seeing in our society. You know, even for people who bleach their skins. In a drastic way. Who go to that deep level to turn a beautiful chocolate black skin into something else that, you know, I don't even know what color it is, but they change it. And what they do, they take off the covering that the Lord has given them to protect them from the sun, to protect them from the elements of the atmosphere. And so they remove what was placed over their body.
And that's why you have so much skin
and that's
cancer.
why you have so much disease and breaking out of the skin. They can't no longer stay in the sun too long because they have actually
damage.
The
lane of the
the protective, layers that was put over their skin to keep them safe. And my heart goes out to these people because it all comes right back down to insecurity, low self-esteem,
not feeling good enough,
and the pressure and the
society.
comparison. Comparing. You see this media?
Yes.
You have to be very, very wise
what you entertain
to be viewing these things on media, because if you don't appreciate and if you're not content in your own body, in your own environment, then you will go astray. You will either steal, you will kill, you will change your body, you will do all these things because you don't feel
that you're good
enough.
Yes.
So these are the reflections that we hear. Just thinking, our mind is like that, guys.
Yes, just reflecting.
We just sit and reflect,
Yeah.
and we say, let's bring it over to you guys and think, how do you feel?
Feel about it?
What do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think that it's right? Do you think it's wrong? As I said, my heart goes out to these people.
Yeah.
Because I know they're suffering in many ways, and that's the reason why they do these things.
Yeah, because we do understand that there are certain cases that a person might need an operation.
Of course.
In that we are in total agreement.
When there's sickness, when there's a deformity, yes, there's 100% agreement. If the help is there, if the finance is there, go do something. Yeah.
But when you are, healthy and you're okay, and you let say the mind be corrupt and do certain things, then it can be so wrong.
Yeah. So thank you guys. Remember to like, share,
and subscribe.
Leave comments. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thank you.